All right, folks, welcome. My name is Jen. I'm from Golden State Times. I'm the host of the stream, and this is live footage from President Trump's rally in Missoula, Montana. Missoula, I hope I said that right. So this is live footage from Montana, folks. The president is set to speak in just a few minutes, so make sure you please share the live stream on social media. This is live footage. And also make sure to not forget to smack the thumbs up button, the like button below the video, and sharing the live stream on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Reddit, wherever you guys can put it. That'll be amazing. Send it through text message, send it through email. However you can get more patrons in here, that would be awesome. If you share the live stream on Twitter or on gab.ai, I will be giving you guys a quick shout out. I'll be looking for those in just a few minutes. So make sure you guys do that if you guys want to get a quick shout out and our appreciation. That helps out the channel a lot, folks. Sharing the live stream, smacking the thumbs up button, being engaged in the chat. All that helps out the channel immensely. So thank you so much in advance. If you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and you click the notification bell. This is one of three in the next few days. 5 in total Trump rallies. It's the president is very busy. He wants to make sure that all of the necessary states are represented. And again, this is in Montana. Tomorrow we have one in Arizona and then one in Nevada on Saturday. Then the president goes back onto the campaign, back rallying on the 22nd and the 24th of next week. So make sure you guys stay tuned live here at Golden State Times. We're going to be giving you coverage of all of these Trump rallies. Also, we're going to give you coverage of this weekend's Politicon. Ben Shapiro, Tucker Carlson, a bunch of other people are going to be there. And make sure you guys stay tuned. Thank you so much. I want to give a quick shout out to Kays. I hope I said that right. And Ruth. Thank you so much for sharing the live stream on social media. Again, if you just joined us right now, folks, don't forget to smack the thumbs up button in support of President Trump, and also that you like our coverage. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe and click the notification bell. If you guys share the live stream on Twitter or gab.ai, I'll give you guys a quick shout out on microphone. I don't know if that's a thing for you, but it's just as a token of our appreciation for helping the channel out. If you guys share the live stream on Twitter, Facebook, whatever social media, that helps us out a lot. Even if you don't have as many members or as many followers or whatever, it doesn't matter. You know, you guys still come up on the search, and that helps out the channel. So if you guys want to do that, it'd be greatly appreciated. If you guys are part of those groups on Facebook or on Twitter or on Reddit or any of those other thousands of social media sites, then make sure to share it on there too, so those patriots can see that the president is set to speak in just a few minutes. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in the chat. All right, folks, I'm going to be giving a couple more shout outs here. And let's see. We have Phantom Exploration. Thank you so much for sharing the live stream. Let's see who else. So we have Gorepi Studios. Thank you so much for sharing the live stream. Adrana West. Thank you so much for sharing the live stream. Also, thank you to Melissa. Oh, sorry about that. And also, thank you to Shauna. Thank you so much for sharing the live stream on social media. Let's see, who else do we have on here? I am Canadian A. Thank you so much for sharing the live stream. Scott, thank you so much, Scott, for sharing the live stream. Also, Mark, thank you so much, Mark, for sharing the live stream. Also, I'm supposed to be working right now. Thank you so much for sharing the live stream. I like that handle. That's funny. Gloria, thank you so much, Gloria, for sharing the live stream. And also, let's see here. I saw another one. Laleen, I hope I said that right. Thank you so much for sharing the live stream. Who else do we have on here, folks? Ruth, thank you so much, Ruth, for sharing the live stream. We also have Ben. Thank you so much, Ben. And Takays. I hope I said that right, too. And Julie. Thank you so much, Julie. Christopher. Thank you so much, Christopher. Archangel Warcry. Thank you so much for sharing the live stream. Who else do we have on here? We have Anna Bring. Thank you so much. USA Buy Sale Business Model. Thank you so much for sharing the live stream on social media. Let's see, who else do we have on here, folks? We have John. Thank you so much, John, for sharing the live stream. All right, folks. So if you guys share the live stream on social media, on Twitter and on gab.ai, I'll give you guys a quick shout out. But you can also share it on Reddit. You can share it on 4chan, 8chan, I don't know how many more social media websites there is out there, but if you guys share it on any of them, thank you so much in advance. All right, folks, so we have some super chat shout outs to give. We got the Zachary Mantis. And we also have Johnny. Thank you so much, Johnny and Zachary Mantis, for your support on Super Chat. All of the support on Super Chat, folks, help us get to the next Trump rally. It would also help us to get to Politicon this weekend. I cannot stress how much we're excited over here at Golden State Times to go to Politicon this year. We covered Politicon last year, and it was pretty awesome with Shrek from the Young Turks and also against Ben Shapiro. That was a pretty awesome debate. So this year, Shrek is going to go up against, what's his name? Tucker Carlson, believe it or not. Tucker Carlson and Cenk Uygur, or whatever his name is, are going toe-to-toe this year at Politicon. So make sure you guys stay tuned live here at Golden State Times. We're going to be streaming it live right at the venue, and make sure that you guys join us this weekend. That's going to happen on Sunday, but we're going to start our coverage on Saturday, which will include also a Trump rally. So Trump rally and Politicon on the same day, and then Politicon on Sunday, and then President Trump starts all over again next week with more rallies. One's going to happen in Texas, and the other one's going to happen in like Wyoming or something. I don't know. But make sure you guys stay tuned live here at Golden State Times. All right, folks. So we have a few more shout outs to give, and we have Shirley. Thank you so much, Shirley, for sharing the live stream. Let's see. Who else do we have on here? Jackie. Thank you so much, Jackie. And Clayton Toretta. Thank you so much for sharing the live stream. James and Pamela. Thank you so much for sharing the live stream. J Love. Thank you so much, J Love. And George. Thank you so much, George. Also, James. Oh, James and Pamela twice. So thank you so much for sharing it twice. That's awesome. Airborne Richard, thank you so much. And Trump for More, thank you so much for sharing the live stream. Peggy and Zach, thank you so much for sharing the live stream. Who else do we have on here, folks? It looks like that's all we have for right now, folks. But thank you so much for sharing the live stream on social media. Again, if you guys share the live stream on Twitter or gab.ai, I'll give you guys a quick shout out. We're trying to see if maybe we missed any. For Freedom of Man, thank you so much for sharing the live stream. Give me a second. All right, folks, sorry about that. I had to open the door real quick, but it was nothing. Anyway, so yeah, so we are giving shout outs to everyone that is sharing the live stream on Twitter or gab.ai. So if you guys would like a quick shout out, make sure to please share the live stream on social media. Thank you.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, folks, we have a few more shout outs. We got Jason. Thank you so much, Jason, for sharing the live stream. Also, we have JJ Media LLC. Thank you so much for sharing the live stream. We got Tyson. Thank you so much, Tyson, for sharing the live stream. We also have Louie. Thank you so much, Louie, for sharing the live stream on social media. Let's see who else. We have Terry. Thank you so much, Terry, for sharing the live stream. And that'll be it for right now. Thank you so much, folks.
You love a president who likes to have prayer before his meetings? Yeah. Well, yesterday I had a plan of what I was going to pray. And don't you love it when the Lord just messes you up? So he told me today, well, what we're going to do is I'm going to have a little history lesson, then my wife is going to pray. He told me we're going to have a little history lesson about our first president and a flag. The flag is the Appeal to Heaven flag. Many of you may have seen it. It's a very simple flag. George Washington commissioned it back when we kicked King George's butt. I'm going to read a little bit from a book, An Appeal to Heaven, author Dutch Sheets. This banner has the phrase, an appeal to heaven, across the top, a phrase our founders took from the writings of John Locke, an influential English philosopher from the mid-1600s. Locke wrote a series of papers on natural laws stating that human rights originate with God, not government. Locke made the case that when people have done everything humanly possible to experience those God-given rights and have failed to do so, there remains but one option. And where the body of people or any single man is deprived of their right or is under the exercise of a power without right and have no appeal on earth, then they have a liberty to appeal to heaven. Locke's phrase, appeal to heaven, connotes that when all resources and the ability to attain justice on earth are exhausted, an appeal to earth's ultimate judge is the final recourse. This concept would become a foundational philosophy in American society, used even in the Declaration of Independence. George Washington and his contemporaries grabbed hold of this phrase in America's cause for freedom from Britain's tyranny. Having exhausted all peaceful possibilities of experiencing the liberty they so desired, the colonists realized their only hope for freedom was through war. Yet with Britain's great military weaponry and wealth, contrasted by the colonists' dire lack of these resources, any military attempt to break free from British rule was prosperous and even laughable. Laughable, that is, unless Almighty God intervened. The stance of the colonists was simple. Their right to freedom came from God. He would help them. We will appeal to heaven, they declared, and a flag was born. About that time, George Washington financed his own ships, his own navy. He had 6 little ships, went off to war against King George's mighty navy. Miraculously, he took out the ship that had all the weapons and the ammunition. We fast forward to 2013, and miraculously the Lord showed certain people that we needed to get this flag back in our country, back in prayer. It's a long story which I won't go into, but this flag started flying all over the country, in churches, in all over. It was flying. People got their arms tattooed with it. Many have seen it. 2 Corinthians 7:14. If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and heal their land. We all remember what happened in early 2015 and 2016. There was an election going on. One of the people running for office was laughed at. They said, Donald Trump? That's laughable, preposterous. Can't happen. We all know what happened. Now they're saying you can't win a midterm election with the sitting president. Well, I just say that's laughable. That's preposterous.
That was a good history lesson. We don't want to forget our history. When we do, we're in trouble. So if you'd bow your heads and pray. What I want to do is start and just welcome the presence of the Lord. I want to welcome the Holy Spirit. I know we're here for a political rally, but this is one nation under God, right? And I am so thankful, Lord, that we still have the right to pray openly like this without persecution, that this president embraces the prayer movement. There are prayer people in the White House. I am so thankful, Lord, that he is a president like that. We welcome, as the city of Missoula, as ordained ministers that were born in Missoula with 4 and 5 generations back in this state, we welcome President Trump. We say thank you, Lord, that he is a man who has such a strong work ethic. He has been here not once, not twice, but he's about to be here the 3rd time. What sacrifice! Thank you, Lord. Thank you for men and women that would do that. We want to thank you, Lord, for all the political people that are represented here today that we will see speaking, even that are serving in government offices in our nation's capital. I want to thank you, Lord, for Secretary of Interior Ryan Zinke. I want to thank you for Senator Steve Daines. I want to thank you for Congressman Gianforte. Thank you for soon-to-be elected Senator Matt Rosendale. We pray, Lord, we appeal to heaven. Let it be, Lord Jesus, let it be that can happen. Such sacrifice by their families. Like George Washington, Lord, they are people who could live a life of leisure. Many of them have made their own fortunes in business, much like George. They don't have to do this, but there's something deeper inside of them they believe in. They believe in America. They believe in America great again, as a place to leave to our children and grandchildren, that they can prosper. Not just us, not that we can just have a life of leisure. And while I'm thanking the Lord for things, thank you for Big Sky Country. Thank you for getting to live here. Thank you for the beauty of our state. You could even say, Lord, that this was the crown jewel of the Northwest, or the crown jewel of the United States, perhaps the continent. So blessed, so beautiful, so many resources in our state. The mountains in the west, the plains and the rolling hills in the east. All kinds of potential for treasure and income. We have the forests and the agriculture and the ranching and the mining. Father, I pray for our elected officials, those that are already elected, and that you would set into positions that we could steward and manage our resources so we are no longer tied up in court battles. Let's say if the Forest Service wants to open a timber sale. When the lawsuits happen, we all lose, Father. We're not making the use of our resources and taxing. It's oppressive. That's where the money is being made up. And I am asking you, Lord, I am appealing to heaven that we will bring in politicians who will restore balance so that we can utilize the God-given resources of this beautiful state and nation. Thank you for President Trump and his example in restoring these kinds of things. Thank you, Lord. Lord, I just want to thank you, too, that there is just no place like Missoula. I mean, we know we have our liberal kinds of elements here, right? But what if, Lord, what if you activated us like Trump, where we didn't sit back and just take it quietly anymore, but we rose up and used our resources and our talents and perhaps even our God-given call, because I do believe that there is not a separation of church and state as in from and apart, but there is a meshing of a church and state that can work together, not as opposing forces. And Father, thank you that as we pray at a political Trump rally, that's an element of that you have just fulfilled. So I pray, I do not think, Lord, that you by accident have us praying out here in open air. Under the air of heaven, under an open heaven, I pray. I pray that you would change the spiritual atmosphere of our city in a couple of ways. One, that we can see people begin to volunteer, begin to wonder if they should run for mayor or county commissioner or maybe on a school board. I pray that there will be people, even today, even tonight, who start to feel that unction that maybe they should do something to help make America great again.
Thank you, Alan and Diane, for the Pledge of Allegiance.
We ran out of time. Let's just pray the Lord's Prayer quickly. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. But deliver us from evil. And the power and the glory forever. Amen and amen.
For the Pledge of Allegiance, please welcome U.S. Army Staff Sergeant Lisa Schaefer.
All right. Are you guys ready? I am. So, if you guys can remove your headgear, your hats, face the flag, which there's one here and one over there in the back, and we will start. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
For the National Anthem, Montana singer-songwriter Shane Klaus.
Thank you for standing up for this song. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. In the rocket's red land, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Join me in welcoming your United States Senator, Steve Daines.
Well, hello, Missoula, Montana. I'll tell you what, a night like tonight, this is a moment we say, thank God we get to call Montana home. And you know, this is also a time that we can say this. Thank God Hillary Clinton is not President of the United States. Let me tell you something. This is also a time when we can say, thank God Justice Kavanaugh is on the U.S. Supreme Court. And this is also a time we can say this. Thank God Air Force One is going to be landing right here behind me in about an hour. I'm so thankful that President Trump is the president of this great nation. Thanks to President Trump, we have more jobs now and we have less government. But 19 days from today, there will be an election. And if you saw what happened in that battle in the U.S. Senate over Judge Kavanaugh, you understand why every Senate vote matters. Elections matter because how your U.S. Senator and how your U.S. Congressman votes, it matters. When I go to work in Washington, D.C. on your behalf, I walk into a Senate that is 51 Republicans and 49 Democrats. The margins are so very, very thin. We need leaders back in Washington who will stand with President Trump versus working against President Trump. Now we're getting close to Halloween. Let me share with you a really scary thought. Nancy Pelosi as Speaker of the House. Let me give you another scary thought. Chuck Schumer as the Senate Majority Leader. Let me tell you something. If that were to happen in this nation, we would have more government, higher taxes, fewer jobs, and there would be more liberal judges on the U.S. Supreme Court. Let me tell you what Montana needs. Montana needs a U.S. Senator who will vote to cut taxes, not raise them. Montana needs a U.S. Senator that will fight to keep your right to bear arms and not take it away. In fact, just between you and me, I'd say we ought to elect a U.S. Senator that has an A rating from the NRA. We need a senator in Montana that will work with President Trump to pass term limits. Let's ban members from ever lobbying once they leave office. And I tell you what, Montana needs a U.S. Senator that believes if Congress can't balance the budget, they shouldn't ever get paid. We had to start right there. And look at that landscape here behind me. We need a senator that will stop the radical environmentalists who are locking us out of our forests while we watch them burn. I'll tell you what, Montana needs a U.S. Senator who's going to secure our borders, who's going to stop the flow of meth and illegal drugs from pouring across our border that are destroying our communities right here in Montana. We need a U.S. Senator that will stand with President Trump and build a wall. Let me tell you something else. We need a U.S. Senator and we need a U.S. Congressman who believes in the rule of law, not mob rule. Montana needs a U.S. Senator and a U.S. Congressman who believes in results, not resistance. And I'll tell you what, I could use a U.S. Senator to stand with me who would vote for Judge Kavanaugh and not against him. I think what that tells me is Montana needs Matt Rosendale and Greg Gianforte. Now, when I was in Billings, when President Trump was there last time, we did a poll. Let's try that poll here tonight because we're just 19 days away from election. So let's do a poll here by applause. So here's the first question. If the election were held today, how many of you would vote for Matt Rosendale for U.S. Senate? I think that's pretty clear. If the election were held today, how many of you would vote for U.S. Congressman Greg Gianforte? Well, thank you. And if you haven't already voted, the absentee ballots are out. I was out antelope hunting a couple days ago. Just got our ballots here on the table. We'll be voting here in the next 24 hours and getting your ballots in. Make sure you vote. Now, speaking of Greg Gianforte, it's my honor to introduce him to you here tonight. Greg Gianforte has been a friend of mine for over 20 years. We raised our 4 children. Greg and Susan have 4 children as well together. We spent a lot of time hunting and fishing and enjoying Montana's public lands together. He is a tremendous leader. I am grateful to call him my friend. I'm grateful to call him our U.S. Congressman. Please welcome Greg Gianforte.
Thank you, Steve. Hello, Missoula. It is great to be here. Steve, thank you for your service. Isn't he doing a great job? Let's give Steve a round of applause. Well, it's great to be here. Did anybody hear? The president's coming. And it's great to be here with our next U.S. Senator, Matt Rosendale. So, who's excited to see the president? Who's excited about what he and Vice President Pence are doing for our country? We now have Neil Gorsuch and Brett Kavanaugh on the Supreme Court. And we have a lot more conservative judges on the bench. They're going to stand on the Constitution and not make law from the bench. Our economy is booming. Our nation is more secure. Our communities are safer. Optimism is on the rise. He's doing a great job. And he's going to be right here in a little bit. Do you remember where we were just 2 years ago? We have turned the corner from those days of Barack Obama. President Trump and Vice President Pence are giving us hope again. America's more prosperous and secure, and our leaders are putting America first. But can you imagine if Hillary Clinton was president? Chuck Schumer ran the Senate? And Nancy Pelosi ran the House? We would be back to a failed set of policies with liberal judges, higher taxes, out-of-control regulations. We'd still be in the war on coal. We'd have open borders and a sluggish economy. America would be stuck on the wrong track. Can you imagine? It's scary. Steve's right. Halloween's coming. I don't want to go there, though. Fortunately for America and Montana, that's not the case. I want to tell you, it is an honor and a privilege to serve as your lone voice in the U.S. House of Representatives. Thank you for your support. I take that responsibility very seriously. In the first 60 days after getting sworn in, I went to all 56 counties, and I've kept that pace up. And I'm proud to tell you, I have not spent a weekend in Washington, D.C. yet. I'm also grateful to have a seat at the table with this president and Vice President Pence. Working with them, we're putting Montana first and delivering results. Republicans' pro-growth, pro-family policies are working. The tax cuts have put more money in people's pockets. I was talking recently with a gentleman to relate a story about a single mom in Helena. She's raising 3 kids by herself, and that's a big job. But because of the tax cuts, her check went up $400 a month. And tax reform is also helping our small businesses all across the state. They're investing. One firm in Great Falls is buying more construction equipment and putting people to work. And you know, when we passed that bill, we didn't have a single Democrat vote in the House or the Senate. My opponent opposes pro-growth, pro-family tax cuts that are helping Montanans across the state. Cutting taxes and red tape is working. The economy's booming. Unemployment is at a 49-year low. We now have 7 million open jobs in this country we're trying to fill. Wages are growing faster than any time in the last 9 years, and they're growing the fastest for the lowest income folks. That's good news. So optimism is on the rise, and opportunities are growing for Montanans. Montana cannot afford to go back to the failed Obama-Pelosi agenda of higher taxes and more regulation. We're also working with President Trump to make America more secure. We need to fix our broken immigration system. You know what else we have to do? We got to build the wall. We need to build it to keep Mexican meth out of Montana communities. I stand with the ICE agents and law enforcement officials that put their lives on the line every day to protect our borders and our communities. So what's going on while this is happening? We got leftist mobs in the streets. You've seen them. They're calling for open borders and to abolish ICE. That's not only not right, it's irresponsible. We're also rebuilding our military. And I'm proud to report that we gave our men and women in uniform the largest raise they've seen in 9 years. We're also giving them the tools they need if we have to send them in harm's way to get the job done and get home safely. We can't afford to let the Democrats cut back on national security. We're also keeping our commitments to our veterans to make sure you all have reliable access to health care. We're also tackling the crisis of meth in our communities, and we've worked to end the problem of human trafficking that's selling young girls and women. I think he's coming to town. We're also working with President Trump to protect our way of life from federal overreach, particularly the Second Amendment. I am proud that I am endorsed by the NRA and have an A rating. My opponent earned her F. So we're working with President Trump to get the long arm of the federal government out of our lives. Yet, Maxine Waters calls on protesters to harass Republicans. Eric Holder wants them to kick us. And Hillary Clinton says we can't be civil with Republicans until they're in charge again, like that's going to happen. I will stand with President Trump, not Hillary Clinton, Nancy Pelosi, or these leftist mobs. So, the stakes are high in this election. Our opponents are raking in millions of dollars. We need somebody who's going to work with Steve Daines and me to put Montana first and advance the Trump-Pence agenda. We need Matt Rosendale in the Senate. You can make that happen. Folks, I'm asking for you to get all your friends out to the polls, knock doors, make calls, talk to your family. This is an important hour in the history of our nation. And I'm humbly asking for your vote as well. Thank you. God bless you, and God bless this United States of America.
All right, folks, so I'd like to give a couple more shout outs while we're waiting for the president. We have Brian. Thank you so much, Brian, for sharing the live stream on social media. We also have Saber and Alicia. Thank you so much for sharing the live stream. Let's see, we have William, and also we have, let's see here, we have Troy. Thank you so much, Troy. We have Mark. Thank you so much. Pamela. Thank you so much, Pamela, for sharing the live stream. Robin Young. Thank you so much, Robin. We also have, let's see here. We have, is there any more? Or that's it for now. We have Jason, JJ Media. We have Tyson and also Louie. Thank you so much for sharing the live stream on social media. If you guys share the live stream on Twitter or gab.ai, I'll give you guys a quick shout out on microphone. You can also share it on Facebook, Reddit. Man, there's like a million different types of social media. But if you guys share it, that helps out the channel a lot. So thank you so much in advance. And I'll give you a couple more shout outs later. Thank you.
Count the brave, count the true. And it's high, high, hey, the army's on its way. Count off front pages loud and strong. For wherever we go, you will always know that the army goes rolling along. First to fight for the right and to build the nation's might, and the army goes rolling along. Proud of all we have done, fighting till the battle's won, and the army goes rolling along. And it's high, high, hey, the army's on its way. Count off the games on its run. For wherever we go, you will always know that the army goes rolling along.
All right, folks, so we have a couple more shout outs here. We have, let's see here, we have Suzanne or Susan. I don't know how you pronounce it. David, thank you so much. And we also have Gary, and we have Mountain Warrior, Debbie Hall, Debbie, and I think, Q and Kafifi every day, Q Meme Warrior, Adrian, Stewart, we have Made in the USA. And I think that'll be it. Thank you so much for sharing the live stream on social media.
His truth is
All right, folks, so let me give a couple more shout outs here. Let's see, who do we have? We have Natalie. Thank you so much, Natalie, for sharing the live stream on social media. Also, thank you so much to Abagna. Thank you so much, Abagna. Also, let's see, who else do we have here? James. Thank you so much, James. And Mir. Thank you so much, Mir Martin, for sharing the live stream. Also, Red October. Thank you so much for sharing the live stream on social media. Let's see. And that'll be it for right now. Thank you so much, folks, for sharing the live stream. If you guys share it on Twitter or gab.ai, I'm going to give you guys a quick shout out on microphone as a thank you. And also to please make sure to smack the thumbs up button, the like button below the video. That helps out the channel immensely. We need as much help as we can get, folks. If you would like to support Golden State Times, there's also a link in the description below. Or you guys can also use Super Chat. That helps us get to the next Trump rally, folks. And it also is going to help us get to Politicon this weekend. So make sure that you guys join us. There's going to be 5 rallies coming up. This is one of 5, and they're going to happen within the next 6 days. So 5 rallies in 6 days, and also Politicon this weekend. Make sure you guys stay tuned here live at Golden State Times. The president should be landing soon, and he's going to deliver his speech right then after. Thank you. All right, folks, so we have a couple more shout outs. We have Asha. Thank you so much for sharing the live stream. Mary Poppins, too. Thank you so much for sharing the live stream. Rob Sinclair, thank you so much for your support, Patriot, and thank you for sharing the live stream on social media. We also have Vicky Fisher and also Witty Word Writer. Thank you so much for sharing the live stream. We also have Coffee Strong. Thank you so much for sharing the live stream. Oh, here we go. Here's the president. Well, it was actually the president in Air Force One. All right, so if you just joined us right now, this very second, the president has landed. The Air Force One landed right behind where the president is going to give his speech. So now we're just waiting for the president to go around and then come back up, and then he'll deliver his speech at the same spot, basically. So we're just waiting for the president to show up. He has already landed Air Force One right behind those white vans that you guys see in the background. That's where Air Force One just landed a few minutes ago. This is absolutely amazing, folks. It has never happened before. I don't know if you guys remember during the campaign season when the president will land, give a speech at the airport, at the airfield, and you'll see like the Trump Boeing 757 or 747, whichever one he has, and he'll deliver his speech. So this is kind of like a little flashback of what he used to do, but now he's doing it with Air Force One. The president is set to step off the plane in just a few minutes. All right, folks, so let's take a quick poll on the chat. Press 1 if you think that the Beast, that's the name of the presidential car, goes in front of the flag you see in front of you, and the president exits between promises made and promises kept. Press 1 if you guys think that's gonna happen, or do you guys think that the president is just gonna walk out? It would be awesome if the presidential limo actually stops right in front of the flag. The president comes out to deliver his speech. That would be pretty awesome. Press 1 if you think that's gonna happen, or do you guys think he's just gonna walk out? No, it didn't stop, folks. It kept going. So yeah, the president is just gonna go walk up to the podium. All right, folks. So the president is going to be walking out in just a few minutes to deliver his speech at his rally in Missoula, Montana. So please make sure to share this live stream on social media. Also, don't forget to smack the like button, the thumbs up button below the video. That helps out the channel a lot, and I'd like to thank you so much in advance for helping us out. We need as much help as we can possibly get, folks. So sharing the live stream is a good way. Also, you can contribute to Golden State Times using the link in the description below, or you can also use it through Super Chat. All of those Super Chats, all of those contributions will be greatly appreciated, and they help us get to the next Trump rally and also to Politicon this weekend so we can have a full coverage of all those events. So we're going to have 5 rallies in 6 days, folks, starting today. So today is 1 of 5. And we also have Politicon this weekend. Thank you so much.
I love these hangars. I love a hangar. There's nothing like a hangar. You get out of the plane, you walk over, and we have massive crowds. We don't have to turn so many away, but there are a lot of people still trying to get in. Should we wait or should we start right now? Start. We start. It's a great crowd. Oh. Montana, to me, is a very big and powerful state, I can tell you that. At least it will be after Matt Rosendale becomes your senator. He's great. But I'm thrilled to be here in Montana with thousands of loyal, hardworking, incredible American patriots. Hard to believe I'm saying this because it was an incredible time. Less than 2 years ago, but almost 2 years ago, right? That was some day, that was some evening, that was some period. That was a movement like we've never, ever seen before. And here we are again. It's going to be like, doesn't seem long, but it flies. You know, when you're having a good time and when you're doing a good job, time flies, right? Time flies. And in just 19 days, the people of this incredible state are going to send Matt Rosendale to the U.S. Senate to protect your jobs and protect your Second Amendment, which is under siege. This, I would think, is a very big Second Amendment place. I wouldn't want to be the one that walks into your house and says, give me that gun. Right? Nobody has the courage to do that. But Matt is going to protect your Second Amendment, and he's going to defend your borders, and we're doing a good job in those borders with the worst laws you've ever seen, and we are making America great again together. Really are. This is truly an incredible time for our country. The unemployment rate just fell to the lowest level in over 50 years. Think of that. More Americans are now working than ever before. Here in Montana, household incomes have reached an all-time high. Think of that. Think of that. And we watch Montana. We watch your miners. We watch your loggers, your ranchers, your farmers. We watch Montana. And you know, 2 years ago, you watched over me because we won this state by a lot. Right? That was one of those quickies. I love those states. You know, the polls closed. Polls have just closed in the state of Montana. Trump has won Montana. You know, it's like... They say it because when it's that big, they announce it within seconds. We like to hear it's just a flowing. They do comma. They don't do a, they do a comma. Trump has won Montana. But you've been great to me. We're also taking care of your veterans. You have a lot of veterans in Montana. And our military, you know, we've rebuilt and are rebuilding our military will soon be more powerful than ever before. And hopefully we won't have to use it. But there's something about having it. All of a sudden they say, okay, let's forget about that. That's the way life works, isn't it? We're going to have the most powerful military by far that we've ever had. And a lot of it's already coming. Those brand new, beautiful planes, those incredible stealth F-35s, you have the F-35, you have the F-18s, the Super Dupers, the Hornets. We have them all. We got them coming left and right. And you know the great thing? There's nothing more important than the military, but we build them all right here in the USA. We don't send them to other countries to be built. We build them right here. We have the best military equipment in the world. We build the best. There's nothing even close. Best missiles, best planes, best ships, best everything. We build them here, and there's nothing like best submarines. Submarines, we're so far ahead of everybody, forget it. Under Republican leadership, America is booming. America is thriving, and America is winning because we are finally putting America first again. It's America first. You know that? We're putting America first. You haven't heard that for a long time. For many, many decades, you haven't heard. Just last week, we achieved another historic victory for the American people. In a beautiful ceremony at the White House, we proudly swore in the newest member of the United States Supreme Court, Justice Brett Kavanaugh. And those Democrats treated him badly, very unfair. That was an unfair deal. From the second the Supreme Court vacancy opened, Democrats were on a heartless campaign of political and personal destruction. It was disgraceful. Before he was even chosen, before I even knew who I was going to pick, they were saying horrible things about my candidate. I said, I haven't picked anyone yet. With great people. That was terrible. What they did was terrible. And what they did to Brett Kavanaugh and his beautiful family is a national disgrace that will not be soon forgotten. Remember that. And come Election Day, Americans will remember Kavanaugh, and they will remember all sorts of other things because that was a shameful act. And there are many other shameful acts, including what they're doing to our border by saying, we're not going to give you the laws that you need to protect our country. But we're taking it and we're doing it, and we have great things happening. This will be an election of Kavanaugh, the caravan, law and order, and common sense. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be an election of those things. Law and order, Kavanaugh. Remember common sense. And remember, it's going to be an election of the caravan. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. And now we're starting to find out, and I won't say it 100%. I'll put a little tiny question mark at the end. But we're probably not going to need it. But we have the fake news back there. Fake news. But a lot of money's been passing to people to come up and try and get to the border by Election Day because they think that's a negative for us. Number one, they're being stopped. And number two, regardless, that's our issue. So this is the problem with them. They have one thing, they stick together. They vote together. They're bad politicians. They have horrible policy. They hate ICE. They don't like our military. They don't like our vets. They're always fighting us on that. They have lousy policy. The one thing, they stick together. But they wanted that caravan, and there are those that say that caravan didn't just happen. It didn't just happen. A lot of reasons that caravan, 4,000 people. But I just want to thank the Mexican government because they're stopping it, hopefully, before it ever gets to Mexico. As you know, I'm willing to send the military to defend our southern border if necessary. All caused because of the illegal immigration onslaught brought by the Democrats because they refuse to acknowledge or to change the laws. They like it. They also figure everybody coming in is going to vote Democrat. You know. Hey, they're not so stupid when you think about it, right? But they are crazy, and the crazy Democrats refuse to support any form of border security legislation to fix our absolutely horrible, old-fashioned, loophole-ridden immigration laws. We have the worst laws anywhere in the world. We have the dumbest laws anywhere in the world. Somebody comes in and we say, excuse me, a foot hits the ground. You know, if a foot hits the ground, we're not allowed to say, hey, go back. Every other country in the world, they say, go back. Can't come in, sorry. a foot hits the ground, we have to, by law, with these horrible people that are making their own rulings, having nothing to do with our Constitution, we have to take those people in, even if they're criminals. And we have hardened criminals coming in. You think those people are perfect? They're not perfect. You have some hardened, bad people coming in. And by law, we have to take their name, and then we have to release. It's called catch and release. You ever hear this one? You catch them, you find out about them. Even if you find out bad things, you catch them and you release them. And then you say, come back for a court case. There's only a problem. There's not enough judges in the world to take care of it. And I will say, I have caused the problem. I'm taking full blame. You know why? Everyone's like in shock. Hey, look, fake news. It's my problem. I caused it. Because I have created such an incredible economy. I have created so many jobs. I've made this country with you so great that everybody wants to come in. So they're all pouring in or trying to. So, with the worst laws in the world, we're doing a hell of a job. But we've made our country strong. We've made our country respected, and people want to come in. Most importantly, what we have to do, we need votes, meaning we need Republicans to vote. You know, you keep hearing we have a majority. We have a majority that if somebody has a cold, if somebody's not feeling well, we lose our majority. That's how it is. It's not about, we have almost identical. We have to have more votes so we can put in strong, conservative, Republican, but common sense. It's not even Republican, conservative. It's common sense policies. It's common sense. That's why we have a lot of Democrats that support us, frankly. We have a lot of the Democrats that aren't crazy. They're intelligent. Because the Democrat Party has gone so far left that nobody knows what to do. It's become radical resistance. You ever see their signs? Resist. They say, what are you going to resist? I don't know. You ever see when the fake news interviews them and then they try and cut it, but they'll go to a person holding a sign who gets paid by Soros or somebody, right? That's what happens. Well, did you see with now Justice Kavanaugh, did you see, and by the way, also with Justice Neil Gorsuch, how good is he? That's a great two people. But did you see the signs? They're brand new, they're beautiful, the black and white signs. Everybody has the same size, right from the finest printer in Washington. You think the people, those are not signs made in the basement. They're all identical. And I pointed that out, and the next day everybody had signs that looked like they were made in the basement. I didn't see any of the black and white ones. It's a whole, hey look, there's a lot of rigged things going on in this country. You know about that. There are a lot of rigged things going on in that. Just ask Bernie Sanders. You think things are rigged, Bernie? You think things are rigged, Bernie? You could ask me, too. I could tell you about rigging. I tell you what. But we fight like nobody ever fought before. You know what we do? We fight, and we fight, and we win, and we fight harder than anybody ever fought. And then they say, oh, it's obstruction. It's obstruction. If you fight back today, it's called obstruction. No, no, no. We fight back. Call it whatever the hell you want. We fight back. Obstruction. You know, I just walked in, and a big, strong guy grabbed me, and he was almost crying. And it happens every time, and many times. And he said, Sir, Mr. President, thank you so much for saving our country. And you know, now I hear it all the time. Those exact words, thank you for saving our country. And at first I had to think about it months ago. I really had to think about it. You see what we did with taxes, forget taxes, with so many things more important than taxes, although those big tax cuts, they did come in handy, didn't they? Everybody benefited from that. But regulation, so many things, you add it all up and they say, thank you very much, Mr. President, for saving our country. Well, the truth is, we have all together, because this has been a movement like we've never seen before in this country, like probably almost every country. They've never seen a movement like what happened with us in 2016. And we all together, not me, I'm a spokesperson. By the way, how have I done? Have I done okay? I was speaking to a big politician the other day. It was sort of funny, and he was great. He's a great guy. But he was trying to make a point. He wanted me to do something a certain way. He said, sir, I've won 5 elections. I've run 8 times. So I've won, sir, 5. I know what I'm doing. I'm a professional. I've been doing this for a long time. So think of it. He runs 8 times. Sir, I won 5 elections. I said, well, you got me there. I ran once, and I won 1 election, but it's the presidency, right? That's right. The presidency. It's the presidency. That's true. Think of it. We're 1 for 1. We're going to soon be 2 for 2, and that's going to be it. Although a lot of the fake news said that he's not going to stop at 8 years. He's going longer. We'll never take it away from him. This is like the group of people. First they say he doesn't know what he's doing. Perhaps he's incompetent. He doesn't know what he's doing. It's terrible. Then 2 minutes later say, he's got it for 8 years. He's going to take it for long. You can't have both. You can only go one way or the other. You can't do both. Now, 8 years is going to be fine, right? 8 years is going to be fine. That's all the time we need. That's all the time we need to make America great again. Make America great again. Is that maybe the greatest slogan in the history of runs? You remember Hillary's slogan? That was the worst slogan. She paid like $1 million for some guy to make this slogan. And after I dissected it at one speech, they changed it the next day. Come together or some terrible. Come together. Oh, she's a great unifier, right? Great. She's a great unifier. Crooked Hillary is a great unifier. Yeah. It is incredible, the deep state, where they don't even look at her. Isn't it incredible? Think of it. 33,000 emails. She gets a subpoena from the United States Congress. Forget about all the other things. Forget about, and you can never forget about Benghazi, ever. But forget about everything else. Never forget Benghazi. But forget about all the other things. 33,000 emails. She gets a subpoena. Not like a subpoena from you or that young person right back there. A subpoena from the United States Congress. She gets it. Then she deletes 33,000 emails. And she acid washes. This way, it's a very expensive process, never used. It's never used because it costs so much. It's called acid washing. It's called bleach pit. It's called 5 different names. But I like acid wash because that really says it. She acid washes 33,000 so that nobody can ever find. But they're around someplace. I think that maybe they're at the State Department. The State Department. We have a great man now at the State Department, Mike Pompeo. But maybe they're at the State Department. They could very well be at the Department of Justice. You can believe that whole deal. But we're just being quiet. We're being quiet. You know why? There's been no collusion. Can you imagine? Think of this. I was on the plane before I told somebody. Let's say we're losing the state of Montana. That'll never happen. And I get an urgent call from my people in Montana, and I'm in New York or I'm in Washington, and they say, sir, we're losing the state of Montana. Is there anything you can do? Can you imagine me saying, I don't know what to do. Gee, let's call the Russians. Maybe they can help. Can you believe the stupidity of this? Let's call the Russians. If I ever called the Russians, the first one to know about it would be the state of Montana, and they wouldn't be too happy. Can you imagine? Let's call the Russians. It's a disgrace. It was an excuse made by the Democrats for losing an election that, frankly, they should win because the Electoral College, remember, I couldn't get 270. There was no way to 270. You need 270. There was no, I went to, that's exactly right, 306. I went, that's right. You heard how many times a year? There is no way. So I went to Maine. I love Maine, by the way. One vote. Got one. One. So I went to Maine 4 or 5 times. I love the people of Maine. And I ended up winning that one, but I didn't need it because we won Michigan and Wisconsin and Pennsylvania and a lot of states. And a lot of states. No, I'll tell you what, it was an exciting time. And next time, Democrats are going to learn where they have to run. You got to run in the right places. These were not great competitors, but they were fine. Actually, they were more effective, in my opinion, after the election than before the election. Does that make any sense? You know, that to me makes a lot of sense. Wise guys. The Democrats have turned... I love you too. Who said that? Who said that? Who said that? It's finally a woman. You know, I get it from the men all the time. And so far, every guy that said I love you, they're just not my type. I finally heard it from a woman. Thank you. Thank you. And look at all the women for Trump signs. Here we go again. It's the same thing. Everyone says, but will he get the women? There are, you know, these fakers on television, the pundits, you know, real geniuses. They've really done well in predicting me. He's never going to run. He has too good a life. He's just doing it for fun. He'll never run, but he's having a good time. I said, that's a good time? So I run. Then September, one by one, we knock them off, knock them off, knock them off. Remember? 18 people, 17 opponents, very talented opponents in many cases. Not in all cases, but in many cases. I remember Charles Krauthammer, and he was talking. Good. Well, he treated you better than he treated me. That's okay. But he was talking about the field. I hadn't entered. And he said, why would he do this? This is the single greatest field of Republicans ever assembled for an election. And I looked at my wife. By the way, how good is our First Lady? Doing good? Is she doing great? People love our First Lady. Look at all the signs. We love our First Lady. We love our First Lady. Just came back from Africa. Just came back from Africa. And she got great. People thought they love her. She went into areas that it was sad because such poverty. She went in with her arms wide open. And the New York Times and some others, all they could talk about, she wore a certain hat. And they said it represented a colonialization. And everybody was trying to figure, and I think it came out of Los Angeles. I think they actually bought it in Los Angeles, which is such a... But they love the job she's doing. And yesterday they had a problem, right? You saw that fire on the plane. And I got a call, sir, your wife is up in the air. There's a fire on the plane. I said, don't tell me that. Don't tell me. And they came down quickly. Great people, great pilots, great pilots. And she was cool. She was cool. I did have to, once I found out everything, I asked, how was she? Was she scared? No, sir. What was she like? She was so cool, we couldn't believe it. Everybody else had cloth on their face, and I probably would have also. Cloth that was water, right? Wet on their face. She sat there. Hey, what else is new? That's the way she is. She's a great First Lady. She's doing an incredible job. And you think it's easy for her to be a First Lady. Not so easy. She's done an incredible job. But Charles Krauthammer, so he said, there's never been a field like this. And I actually went to my wife. I said, a very smart man just said there's never been a field so talented as this. But one by one, and they are, and now a lot of them are friends of mine. Almost all of them are friends of mine. You know, you go through wars together, and then if you're smart and if they're smart, you get along. I have great relationships. Ted Cruz has become a friend of mine. He's doing great in Texas. Marco Rubio, Chris Christie, Mike Huckabee, he was in there at the beginning. Remember, he got up and he said, I don't know what you guys are wasting your time for. Nobody's going to beat Trump. Why are you doing this? You can't beat him. In fact, you remember he said, in fact, I just went out and bought a Trump tie, and I'm dropping out after this debate, but none of you guys are going to beat Trump. That was Mike Huckabee. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. It was very good for my ego. In fact, that might have been my worst debate because I was so impressed with what he said. I didn't think about it. Now, Mike is great. We had such great people. We had such great people and a lot of talented people. And the end result is this is where we are, and we're doing a lot of good. The Democrats have truly turned into an angry mob, bent on destroying anything or anyone in their path, and your senator is one of them. Let me tell you, your senator is disgraceful what he did. This election, you will decide which party is in control of Congress. That's true. And if they win, even if they win the House, it's going to be just fighting. It's going to be, you love my hair? Thank you. She knows what to say. She knows how to make me happy. I love your hair. Well, the one thing that has been really great about this whole endeavor is they used to say, he wears a hairpiece, he wears a hair. They don't say that anymore. These people have seen me under every condition known to man. I haven't heard that one in over a year. You know, when you're walking around and the wind is going crazy and you're inspecting like I did the other day, the incredible hurricane, this horrible Hurricane Michael that devastated Florida and Georgia, and Alabama got hit hard. And then a couple of weeks before, and Michael got a piece of them too, but a couple of weeks before, I went to North Carolina, South Carolina. You look at what happened in a little piece of Virginia, and you walk around in those conditions, you can't fake it. You can't fake it. So that's one good thing. Nobody ever says that anymore. That's might be one of the best things that's happened to me in a long time. Because my whole life, they said, is it or isn't it? Barbara Walters interviewed me. Do you mind if I play with your hair? Remember that? And then numerous people have done that, but that's okay. But the choice could not be more clear. Democrats produce mobs. Republicans produce jobs. By the way, this is the most beautiful sky. Well, it's big sky. I guess there's a reason for everything, right? No, I got out and I'm looking. I've been here many times, but I got out and I'm looking. I said, that really is big sky. That's beautiful. Not only big, it's really beautiful sky. Someday, one of you will explain exactly why, but that is a beautiful, beautiful big sky. But Nancy Pelosi, crying Chuck Schumer, and the radical Democrats, they want to raise your taxes. They want to impose socialism on our incredible nation, make it Venezuela, because that's what's going to happen. They want to take away your health care because you won't be able to have it. Our country won't be able to afford it. Destroy your Second Amendment and throw open your borders to deadly drugs and vicious gangs, because plenty of them are coming across, and a lot of drugs. Democrats have become the party of crime. It's true. Who would believe you could say that and nobody even challenges it? Who would believe? I started a couple of months ago. I said, They've really become the party of crime. I said, I'm going to put that in. I'm going to say that when I make speeches. Nobody's ever challenged it. Maybe they have. Who knows? I have to always say that because then they'll say, they did actually challenge it. And they'll put then they'll say, he gets a Pinocchio. So maybe they did challenge it, but not very much. It's become they have become the party of crime because of what they do. They would rather devastate American communities than defend America's borders. The Democrat Party has become too extreme to be trusted with power. Their radical policies are a danger to your family and to your country. If you want to drain the swamp, you must defeat the Democrats and you must defeat Senator Jon Tester. I mean, he's a super liberal. How do you... I know you people. I won by a fortune of votes, right? Like many, many, many votes. And I know you. You know me, I know you. How the hell did you ever elect that guy? How did you pull that off? So we're thrilled to be joined tonight by somebody who's been working with me and an incredible guy, a great human being, and a very talented senator, but somebody that loves you and he loves the country, Senator Steve Daines. Steve. He is a great guy. Tell you what. He is, the strong, silent type. They're the ones I like the best. I want to be that way someday. Now, Steve Daines he's been a great representative. He loves this state. I also want you to go and vote for an incredible Montana leader, somebody that's gone to Congress and in a short period of time, one of the most respected people in Congress, Greg Gianforte. Hey, Greg, come up there.
Yeah, great. Let me just say, on behalf of all of Montana, Mr. President, thank you for giving us hope again.
He's so smart. You know, we've had people, you're on live television all over the place, and we've had people get up, speak for 20, 25 minutes. And these guys are going crazy. That's not the deal. But Greg is smart. And by the way, never wrestle him. You understand that? Never. Any guy that can do a body slam, he's my kind of... He's my guy. I shouldn't say this because there's nothing to be embarrassed about. So I was in Rome with a lot of the leaders from other countries, talking about all sorts of things. And I heard about it. And we endorsed Greg very early. But I had heard that he body slammed a reporter. And he was way up. And I said, oh, this was like the day of the election or just before. And I said, oh, this is terrible. He's going to lose the election. Then I said, well, wait a minute. I know Montana pretty well. I think it might help him. And it did. No, he's a great guy. Tough cookie. Greg's opponent, Kathleen Williams, is a radical, far-left Democrat. She's going to be voting with Nancy Pelosi and Maxine Waters, the great Maxine Waters. That's another beauty, isn't it? Williams wants to massively raise your taxes, and she supports Pelosi's cap and trade tax, which is a disaster, and it would kill the Montana coal industry that we all rebuilt together in a very short period of time. Any miners in the audience, please? How are you guys happy, right? Better believe it. It's coming back. Clean coal. I say beautiful, clean coal. And we have more of it than anybody. And Kathleen Williams supports open borders. She opposes the wall, which we've started, and we've done a lot of work on it, but I'd like to get it done quickly. Give us the money, and we'll do it fast, but we've started it. We got $1.6 billion, $1.6 billion, and $1.6 billion, and I want to get it finished. We need it now. And by the way, if this scene of people pouring up, if that doesn't make people want to build a wall, you know, in 2006, all these people, just about all of them, they wanted a wall. They know it's the right thing. They just don't want to give us the victory. It's not like Schumer says, oh, gee, you have it over. Israel has a wall. Bibi Netanyahu, think of it. He said it worked 99.9%, their wall. They have a big wall. It's in the form of a very tough fence. But they have a wall. And Schumer knows this, and Nancy Pelosi knows this, but they just don't want to give us the victory. I know for a fact. They said, you know what, we can't let them have the wall, because that would be another campaign promise fulfilled. But I've done so many campaigns, I'm so far ahead. But we've started the wall, and it's moving, and we're going to get it, but get me some Republican votes, please. Williams voted in favor of deadly sanctuary cities, and she voted in favor of giving public benefits to illegal aliens. Oh, that's the beauty. Do the people of Montana like the idea of giving public benefits to illegals? I don't think so. I know you very well. My son is here all the time, Don. He's a big fan. He's a hunter. He's a hunter. Big fan of Greg's. Big fan of Greg's. He's a good hunter, that one. You people can't believe it. He grew up in a certain nice location in New York, like Fifth Avenue. He knows more about hunting and guns and rifles and maybe anybody here. That's a crazy thing. That's what he loves. A few people over there say I disagree with that. But he does know a lot. Greg will tell you that. But everybody has to go out and vote for Greg. And finally, it is my great honor to introduce the next United States Senator from Montana, Matt Rosendale. Come on up, Matt. Come on up. Great guy, big success, highly respected.
Hey, good evening, Montana. President Trump is making history again here in Montana, by golly. This is his third trip to Montana, and that does set a record. This is one for the history books again. I want to take a moment to thank our veterans and all of our military for their great service to our great nation. You kept your promises, and I will work tirelessly every day to make good on the promises that our nation made to you. Mr. President, thank you for your support and for keeping your promises to the people of Montana. You are making America great again. And if we want to keep America great, then we need everyone here to get out and vote. President Trump and all of his policies are on the line. So let's make history and retire John Tester and send President Trump the help he needs. Let's remember, it was John Tester who cast the deciding vote on Obamacare and got your premiums skyrocketing. I will never give up on repealing and replacing Obamacare. We must have health care that we can actually afford. And I will make sure to always protect those with pre-existing conditions. Remember, when John Tester talks about supporting the Second Amendment, understand that he voted for liberal judges who will take your guns away. I'm endorsed by the NRA with an A rating. And all John Tester could muster up was a D. That record speaks for itself. John Tester does not stand with us on border security. He supports amnesty, catch and release, and sanctuary cities. Well, I'm running to help our president secure the border, deport the criminals, end sanctuary cities, and build that wall. I like the wall. We're gonna build. President Trump deserves a senator from Montana that will support his Supreme Court nominees, not oppose them 100% of the time like John Tester has done. No thanks to John Tester, we now have two good men and two great judges on the Supreme Court, Neil Gorsuch and Brett Kavanaugh. Folks, John Tester has been too wrong for too long. We can't let John Tester and the radical liberal resistance win this November. If they win, they'll go after President Trump and his agenda. We can't let that happen. We need everyone in this hangar and across the state to get up and do their part to win this race. Ballots have dropped. I encourage everyone to please cast your vote and to turn them in as soon as possible. Tell your friends, your family, and your neighbors to get out and vote. I pledge to always put Montana first, and I will stand in strong support of President Trump because the work that he's doing really is making America great again. Thank you, Montana. Thank you, President Trump. May God bless each and every one of you and these great United States of America.
Thank you. Thank you, Matt. And I have to say, a vote for Tester is a vote that really is going to count. It's going to count for you. He's replacing far left with common sense, and we really have to get out. We are looking to have some success where right now it's so impossible. We have to get Schumer and Pelosi, we have to move them around, we have to get them out. Our new star, Maxine, we have to get them out. There's a lot of bad things happening. I don't know, you see what they do, you see what they think, and you almost say, like, can it really be possible? Can somebody not care about our military? Can somebody not care about so many other things that we're doing, like taking care of our vets? I mean, can somebody not care about tax cuts? They want to raise your taxes, and they don't care about crime. Think of that. Raise your taxes, and they don't care about crime. Is that really some way to get elected? How do you do that? I would never be a politician if that were my platform, I tell you. Certainly I wouldn't be successful. But Tester says one thing to voters and then always does the exact opposite. In Washington, he talks like he's from Montana, and he votes like he's Nancy Pelosi. The only thing keeping Tester's campaign alive are millions and millions and millions of dollars from outside liberals and radical leftists who couldn't care less about Montana. They don't know anything about Montana. All they know is he's a vote for them. They don't know anything. They didn't come up here to talk to you. They just send a lot of money. It's crazy. Tester voted against tax cuts for Montana families where you benefited so much. I know how important that's been. And he voted for Obama's job-killing regulations. With those regulations, all of your energy that you take out of the ground in the cleanest way and that makes our nation wealthy, you couldn't do it. You wouldn't be allowed to do it. All of the miners that are here, all of the people that are here, all of the steel workers, you wouldn't have your jobs back. You wouldn't have jobs. We were going in the wrong direction. When I came in, we were going down. And now we just hit 4.2, and everyone's saying, how did that happen, right? GDP, 4.2. And on immigration, Tester's record can be summarized in two simple words: open borders. Open borders. Think about it. Think about it. How about this guy in California? I have to say, look, I'm sure he's a nice guy. Nice guy, young guy. They say, oh, someday he wants to be president. Oh, please, let him run. But how about this guy running for governor, California? He wants open borders, and he wants to take care of everyone's health care, everyone's medical costs, right? He wants to put more gas taxes on, where they just have a lot, but he wants to take care of everybody. So open borders, the whole world is going to go to California. And they owe about $15 zillion. They owe more money than anybody knows. It's not even possible for them. And he's asking everybody in the world, just come on in, open borders. We're going to take care of your health care. We're going to take care of your schools. We're going to take care of everything. I mean, give me a break, right? No, I saw this platform the other day. We have a good candidate there, too. You're right. Thank you, Darren. We have a good candidate there. Now, it's hard for a Republican to win in California because it's become like crazy. But all of a sudden, our Republicans making big progress. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens in that way. But that's where Tester is coming from. He voted for amnesty for illegals and against the border wall on numerous occasions. He voted to let drugs in. He voted to let drugs in. That's what you're doing. You don't have the wall. You don't have a border. What you have is you have infiltration of drugs like you've never seen. We fight so hard. We just had a big victory with the post office so that we can see drugs coming in from China, fentanyl, and other places. Tester voted against Kate's Law, legislation to stop illegal aliens from repeatedly breaking into our country. This guy came in 5 times, and then you know what happened. Tester voted against enhanced vetting for refugees. I said enhanced vetting, and people said, oh, what a terrible term. I don't think it's terrible. We want to have people come into our country, but they have to come in based on merit, not based on a lottery. We need people. We need people. Our employment rate's one of the lowest, as I said, over 50 years. We need people to work in the companies. Japan, I was speaking to Prime Minister Abe the other day. They're opening up new car factories and plants in Michigan, in Ohio, in Pennsylvania, in Kentucky. At my very strong urging, because we have a massive trade deficit with Japan. We have a massive trade deficit with everybody. But we're changing it. We made the great deal for your farmers with Canada and with Mexico. And every other business, by the way. And we're not going to have our companies leaving the United States anymore. They're going to stay here, and they're going to expand in our country. And Tester voted in favor of deadly sanctuary cities. He likes sanctuary cities. John Tester would rather protect criminal aliens than American citizens, which is why he needs to be voted out of office. He does. And by the way, Matt is a really successful guy, respected by everybody. I know people that knew him from 10 years ago, long before he ever thought of this. 20 years ago, just was always a high-end, really respected guy. And he's going to be a great senator for you. He's going to be a great senator. Matt Rosendale. And Matt said Tester has a D rating from the NRA. I didn't know they gave ratings that low. How can you have, okay, ready? We're in Montana. How can you have a D rating from the NRA and get votes? No, seriously. Did anyone know he had a D rating? I saw that. I said, well, that should be the end of that election. You know, there are some places you could have a D rating, I guess. But he has a D rating in Montana? I don't think that's going to last long. And he voted for liberal Obama judges who want to take away your Second Amendment. They do want to take it away. Just in case you haven't figured that one out, that's a tough one. And one of the things that will be happening, you know, you're happy that we have two great Supreme Court justices that we just put on. You know, presidents go a long time, they never have a judge. I've had two, and it's not even 2 years. Think of that. No, think of that. But under scenarios, we could have 2 more, 3 more, maybe 4 more. I wish everybody great health. I do. I really do. But, you know, we could have a scenario where we have more. That's why you have to be careful. Because you think the 2 is good. That can get overridden very quickly. You think you're looking good, and you are. But frankly, it can be overridden very quickly. John Tester joined the shameful Democrat mob, and we're calling it a mob now. A lot of people are calling. These people are starting to think of it as a mob. And voted against Kavanaugh, voted against, I guess, I didn't even know. Did he vote against Justice Gorsuch? He did. How do you vote against him? Right? Top student at Harvard, top student at Columbia, top student at Oxford. And they vote against him? How do you do that? And he's just like led an impeccable life. Justice Kavanaugh, #1 in his class at Yale. I mean, these are extraordinary people. And they had a great life. Look, it's not about grades or marks. It's one thing. But these people have led incredible lives. And in the case especially of Justice Kavanaugh, the lies that were made up, the stories that came out, and he honestly, I'm pretty good at this stuff, he honestly never heard of this stuff. He never heard of it. It was a big con job. You've heard me say that. It was a con job. See, with me, they're doing con jobs too, but at least I'm sort of, that's been, my whole life I've been I expect like things like this. They're giving a big witch hunt. They're doing a big con job, but on him, I don't think he was expecting that. When I shook his hand, I have to tell you that, I've never told this. I shook his hand, and I said, Brett, congratulations. I've chosen you, and I have a list of 23 people or so that are phenomenal. Top students, top everything, top judges, all judges, I think. All judges. Doesn't have to be a judge, by the way, but there's something nice about putting judges on the Supreme Court, right? I don't know, somehow I think putting a businessman would be nice, or a woman. How about a businesswoman? But something nice about you. It doesn't have to be a judge, would you believe it? But I shook his hand, I'll never forget it. I shook his hand, and I said, Brett, you're like so good educationally. You're a great scholar. You're talented, incredible wife, incredible daughters. Your life has been amazing. Don't forget, 6 checks until the 7th from the FBI. Flawless. I said, Brett, congratulations. This is going to be a piece of cake. I meant it. I said, this is going to go so fast. It's going to be so easy. You are perfect. You are something special. And he suffered needlessly by vicious people like Feinstein, like, remember? You think she leaked? She leaked. She leaked. Remember that? No, I didn't leak. Remember? Senator John Cornyn, great guy from Texas. He asked a question. Did you leak? She was startled because she was unprepared. No, no. Did I? What? Did I leak? No. No, we didn't leak. No. No, we didn't leak. That was the worst body language I think I've ever seen. Remember John Lovitz, the liar. Remember John Lovitz? Yeah, I'm a businessman. That's right. I went to, I went to Harvard. Yeah, that's right. I went to Harvard. I'm a businessman. That was like a female version of John Lovitz. And then you had Spartacus, right? That's not Spartacus. I know him for a long time. I don't want to speak badly about him, though, because, I want most of these people, I think all of them, to get through the process. They're all fighting to run against us. And I don't want to hit them so hard that they don't make it. Because maybe they'll find somebody of talent. So far, there's nobody on the list. So I don't want to kill him. I don't want to do it. It's too early to be doing it. But he didn't do well at Newark, New Jersey. He ran it right the hell into the ground. And that's what he'd do with our country. So you have a lot of them. I'll go over a couple of more names, but no, I won't. How about Sleepy Joe Biden? Sleepy Joe. Remember, he challenged me to a fight, and that was fine. And when I said he wouldn't last long, he'd be down faster than Greg would take him down. He'd be down so fast. Remember? Faster than Greg. I have to go very fast. I'd have to immediately connect. But so he challenges me to a fight, and the fake news said, "Oh, isn't that cute? That's so wonderful." Remember, he says he would like to take me behind the barn if he were younger. So he challenges me to a fight, and it's fine. I said he shouldn't do that because I'd take him down so fast. And they said, "What a vicious statement made! How vicious! He's talking about fighting. What a vicious thing!" Do you believe this? That's why it's the fake news. Remember? I responded so nicely, and they made a big deal out of it, but that's okay. And John Tester led the Democrat mob in the effort to destroy the reputation of a great man, Admiral Ronnie Jackson. Now, Admiral Jackson I got to know well. He's a doctor in addition to being an admiral. He's a handsome, wonderful father. His son had just graduated, high in his class at Annapolis. Incredible young man, beautiful family, incredible wife. And Tester said things about him which were a disgrace. And I say the people of Montana would not stand for it. What he said about Ronnie Jackson, he was the doctor for President Bush, for President Obama, and for President Trump. And he was high quality. And it's my fault. I said, "Admiral, how would you like to head up the VA? I want somebody great. You're an admiral, you're a leader." And he's 50 years old. He never had a problem in his whole life. A little bit like Justice Kavanaugh. Really a very fine, high-quality, handsome guy. Never had a problem. And he said, "Sir, I had never thought of it, but I'll do whatever your wish is, sir." He didn't really want it. And he might not have been qualified, but here's a doctor at a high level, and he's a man that everybody respected. I saw that. And respect is so important. And I know he'd do a good job, and he'd put his heart into it. He's very smart. But he said, "Sir, if you'd want me to do it." He really didn't. He was all set. 50 years old. He was going to get a second star. He was going to retire and go into running a big hospital system or something. He was all set. But he didn't want to disappoint me. So he said, "Sir, if you'd like me to do it, I will do it." I said,
Well, I'll tell you what, Ronnie, you'll be fantastic. He would have done a great job. And I announced that he was going to be my choice. And he was attacked so viciously, so violently by John Tester like I've never seen before. True. All lies, all made up stuff. Remember knocking at somebody's door at 2 o'clock in the morning. Remember that? Knocking. And I checked with Secret Service. Did that happen? No, sir, it didn't. They checked it. Sir, that didn't happen. They came in. I want to know. Sir, it didn't happen. Didn't even come close to happening. I think he wasn't even there. They made up a series of lies that were horrible. And John Tester led the group. That's really why I'm here. It's not that we need the vote so badly. I think we're going to do very nicely in the Senate, I hope. I think we should pick up seats. But first of all, I have a lot of respect for the man that's running, Matt. But also I'm here because I can never forget what John Tester did to a man that's of the highest quality. You would have loved this man in this state. He'd be one of you. He'd be one of you. And so I said, I got to come. I got to come here. I got to help. Because what he did was unfair. What he did was vicious. What he did was as they did with Judge Kavanaugh. Same thing. Same thing. Almost, if this is believable, worse. And he sat and he didn't know what hit him. He didn't know what hit him. To which I originally said, welcome to the world of Washington, D.C. Isn't this a lovely place? But this was an innocent, wonderful man who's led a life that's incredible, and he was so badly hurt. And so I had to come here and tell you that story. What happened, and we've had it checked out so carefully, and the Secret Service guys are fantastic, and I wanted a full report. Dr. Ronnie Jackson, special man. Tester doesn't share your values. He shares the values of the Feinsteins and the Cory Bookers, and how about Pocahontas, Elizabeth Warren? You know, the one good thing about her test is that there was so little. She had less than the average American. I used to say, I have more Indian blood in me than she does, and I have none. I used to say that. And I was right. But the only good thing she did, I think she probably disqualified because she made a fool out of herself, but I think the only good thing she did, I can't call her Pocahontas anymore. Right? I came up with the name Pocahontas, and they once said, you must apologize for that. I said, why? Well, it's not nice what you're doing. I said, okay, I'd like to apologize to the real Pocahontas. But not to the fake Pocahontas. Not to the fake Pocahontas. But it's true, she has so little Indian, but she has none, that I cannot call her Pocahontas anymore. But if you don't mind, I'll continue. Do you mind? Because it'll show everybody what a phony she is. If you vote to elect a Republican House and a Republican Senate, we will continue to cut your taxes, cut your regulations, raise your income, and make our country great again. That's happening. We will protect Medicare and Social Security. And Democrats will destroy your Social Security, and they will destroy your Medicare. We will continue confirming judges who interpret the Constitution as written. We will fully secure the border. We will pass Kate's Law, stop sanctuary cities, stop catch and release, end visa lottery, end chain migration. And we will keep the criminal drug dealers and terrorists the hell out of our country. We will lift millions of our citizens from welfare to work, dependence to independence, and from poverty to prosperity. For
For years you watched as your leaders apologized for America. They apologized. Now you have a president who is standing up and proud, but standing up for America. We are standing up for your values. We are standing up for Montana. And we are proudly standing up for our great national anthem. But to continue this incredible momentum, I need you to get your friends, get your family, get your neighbors, get your coworkers, and get out and vote for Greg Gianforte and Matt Rosendale. These are great people. A vote for a Republican Congress is a vote for more jobs, more wealth, and more products made right here, like the old days in the USA. It is a vote to respect our laws and to respect the heroes of law enforcement. They do a great job. And a vote for Republicans is a vote to reject the Democrat politics of hatred and anger and division, and to celebrate the greatness and the glory of being American. Loyal citizens like you help build this country, and together we are taking back our country, returning power to you, the American people, and that's what's happening. That's what happened almost 2 years ago. This great state was settled by tough pioneer men and even tougher pioneer women. By the way, they keep saying, will he do well with women? Remember last time they said the same thing. We did very well with women. I think I probably won because of women. I hate to tell you, men. Remember, now they're starting the same thing. It's like a replay. Will he do well? Women, by the way, what do they want? They want security, both real security and economic security. They don't want to have criminals all over the place. They want to be able to have a great family and raise a great family. They want great education for their family and their kids. I'm the one that gives you that. They don't give it to you on the other side, folks. And we're giving you already better choices for health care. I got rid of the individual mandate, which is the worst thing in Obamacare. And we're running the remnants of Obamacare before it expires completely. And you notice your premiums are going up less than they've ever gone up? Because we're doing a real job. We had the votes to repeal and replace, and somebody disappointed us a little bit. But we'll get another shot. I'll tell you what, as Matt said, it will happen. Get us a couple of votes. But these are pioneer women who braved the wilderness and defied the dangers to build a life and a home and a family. These are great women. The men are okay too, not great, but they're okay. The men are okay, what the heck? The women are exceptional. They didn't have a lot of money, they didn't have a lot of luxury, but they all had one thing in common. They loved their families, they loved their country, and they loved their God. These courageous Montana patriots did not shed their blood, sweat, and tears so that we could sit at home while others try to erase their legacy and destroy our proud, proud, proud American heritage. Didn't do it. For the sake of our freedom and for the sake of our children, we are going to work, we are going to fight, and we are going to win, win, win. Remember, I told you that. Been telling you that for a long time. We're winning again. Our country is respected again. I can tell you, I meet the leaders of other countries. They say, Mr. President, congratulations. You know that we have the hottest economy, as big as we are. We were going down. We have the hottest economy on earth. People are moving back in. We're winning again. We're respected again. We will not bend. We will not break. We will never give in. We will never give up. We will never back down. We will never surrender. And we will always fight on to victory. Because we are American and our hearts bleed red, white, and blue. You know that. We are one people. We are one family. And we are one glorious nation under God. And together, we will make America wealthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you, Montana. Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, folks, thank you very much for joining us and choosing us as your stream of choice. My name is Jen. I'm from Golden State Times. I'm the host of the stream, as you guys know. If you're new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe and also click the notification bell. That way, when we go live, you get the notification. If you are new to our channel, please subscribe and click the notification bell. Like I said, I'm sorry for saying it again. I'm a little distracted. But thank you so much for tuning in. And thank you so much for sharing the live stream too. You guys are amazing and you guys help us so much. You cannot believe how much you guys help us by sharing the live stream and also by watching our videos, tuning in, and letting people know about us, stuff like that. So thank you so much for all of your help. This is one of 5 rallies, folks. We have today. We have a rally tomorrow. We have a rally Saturday. We have a rally Monday. We have a rally Tuesday. We have a rally Thursday. We have a rally Saturday. There's going to be tons of rallies coming up, folks. The president is going to be all over the place. Texas is coming up. We have Missouri coming up. We have, let's see, what else do we have here? I actually have the list. We have a bunch of stuff. Don't forget about Politicon this weekend also, folks. Don't forget about Politicon. That's very important. Politicon is coming up this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Ben Shapiro, Tucker Carlson, Charlie Kirk, Tomi Lahren, Kaya, whatever her name is. the artist, the singer, a bunch of other people are going to be at Politicon. But here we go. So tomorrow is going to be Mesa, Arizona. Then we're going to Elko, Nevada. Then we're going to Houston, Texas for Ted Cruz. Then we're going to Mosinee, Wisconsin. I hope I said that right. But we're going to be all over the place, folks. 5 rallies in 6 days. Politicon this weekend. If you guys would like to help out Golden State Times, the link is in the description below. We need as much help as we can possibly get. So if you would like to make a contribution, any contribution, $1, $2, 50 cents, whatever you can help us with, it will be greatly appreciated. And the link is in the description below. Or Nightbot should be putting it up on the chat too. So we need as much help as we can possibly get. Thank you so much in advance. We hope to see you guys here next time. If you guys missed the speech, I'll be uploading it on the channel in just a few minutes. Thank you so much. As I said again, thank you to the moderators. Thank you to everyone that shared the live stream. If you guys smack the thumbs up button, thank you for that too. It helps out the channel so much. It lets YouTube know that we are doing a good job and that you guys want to see President Trump. You want to see our coverage, all that good stuff. So from California, we actually are in California, believe it or not. There's tons of supporters of the president in California. From California, I would like to say good night, and I hope to see you guys here tomorrow for another Trump rally, and Saturday for another Trump rally, Saturday and Sunday for Politicon, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday for more Trump rallies live here at Golden State Times. Thank you so much. Have a good night. And God bless. So someone brought up something that's very interesting. He says, why doesn't POTUS come to California? Well, it's on the schedule, but it's not going to happen until after, I believe, the midterm elections. Now, that's very interesting. Now, why is the president coming after the midterm elections? I do not know an answer for that, but there might be a reason why he's coming to California after the midterm elections. Keyword after. After.